taking all these photographs by one photojournalist spanning 4 decades, I'm sure you now know that there is no limitation. There is no limitation to creativity, there is no limitation to freedom and mobility, and depending on your creativity, your interest and your ability to move, you can go and cover various activities and places and moments and bring them back as photographs to be carried in newspapers, in magazines, or in websites or in the social media. Let's see some more examples through which you would see what are the various options or possibilities available to a photojournalist. Mr. Desikan Krishnan is going to share more examples covering a different range of subjects through his lens.
What happens is the cries of these infants made the camels run faster, and that is why they were tied to the camel's neck near the ear so that they would cry and that would make the camel run faster, and that was camel racing in the UAE.
Khairi the Tigress, Similipal, Odisha, 1984.
This was in the residence of one Chowdhury, who was an award-winning conservationist, tiger conservationist. He had in his house a tiger, a bear, a hyena, and some snakes, all living together. They were not tied. And in the night, the tiger or tigress used to sleep on the bed with them, with the family. When I went there in the evening, it was late, they gave me a room to stay, and then they warned me, if there is a knock on the door in the night, don't open it, or it may be the bear trying to get in. So next day morning we got up early, followed the tiger, tigress and the bear, took a lot of pictures and then came back.
Cow dung cakes, Kanchipuram, Tamil Nadu, 2015-16.
Cow dung is traditional fuel. It's used not only in Kanchipuram, but I also have shot these cow dung cakes being made in several other parts of India. What attracted me here was the aesthetic sense of the lady making those cow dungs. After making every patch, she used to keep a flower over there. That was what attracted me to stopping my vehicle and taking a photograph of the scene.
Kaziranga, Assam.
All of you know Kaziranga, home of the one-horned rhinoceros. On the way to Nagaland, I stopped at Kaziranga, spent a night there, made 2 trips into the forest or sanctuary to take pictures of the one-horned rhinoceros.
Money order, Sarapalam, Tanjavur, Tamil Nadu.
The only source of getting money from their relatives who were working in the cities those days was the money order. People used to, in fact, parents used to wait for the postman to come to their house in the beginning of the month. They would keep looking out for the postman because before the banking system, the money order was the only lifeline for people living in rural areas, like here in Tanjavur. The parents used to wait for the postman in the beginning of the month to send money for their livelihood, and you could send as a minimum of 1 rupee to a maximum of about 5,000 rupees those days, and the fee for sending a money order was again 1 rupee to around 5 to 10 rupees. Money order is still there, but the amount you could send has changed. It's not as low as 1 rupee. I think the minimum what you could send now is around 1,000 rupees.
Kathakali at Cochin, Kerala.
Kathakali is a very, very colorful art form of Kerala. All of you know about Kathakali. All of you must have heard about Kathakali. I wanted to see color in black and white. How would it look in black and white? So, to take a good black and white picture, to make it impressive, what is very important is the lighting. Cross lighting makes the black and white stand out. Now, the makeup for a Kathakali takes almost 4 hours. So, if you want to shoot the makeup and also the play, you got to be at the venue 4 hours ahead and start to shoot. So, for a series of pictures on Kathakali and the performance, you spend almost 6 to 7 hours over there.
Open air learning at Kalakshetra, Shantiniketan.
I went to Shantiniketan because I heard so much about it. I just wanted to have a visit, a look at it. I was assigned to cover a sports tournament in Calcutta, and during the break I went to Shantiniketan, and what attracted me was the open air classrooms under the trees. Later, when I had an occasion to visit the Kalakshetra in Chennai, my hometown, I saw students sitting under a tree at Kalakshetra, at the Besant School in Kalakshetra, which was almost like Shantiniketan. So, I went around and shot those pictures, and also the music classes at Kalakshetra, some of the music classes were conducted under the tree in a natural surroundings.
Chinatown, Calcutta, 1980.
Chinatown was a very interesting place, a town within a city where all the Chinese lived. It was because the restaurant which I frequented had a steward who was Chinese. Donald was his name. Then he took me, he was telling me about the place where he lived, and I wanted to visit it, and he took me there on a Sunday. It was a completely it was not like the rest of Calcutta. You found people eating with chopsticks, eating noodles and other things. You had shops over there selling Chinese stuff, Chinese food stuff, and as I told you earlier, it was almost like another city within a city.
Dhanushkodi, Rameshwaram, Tamil Nadu.
Dhanushkodi was a town which was washed away during the cyclone. Entire town was submerged. The railway lines were broken. And when I visited Rameshwaram a few years back, I wanted to visit Dhanushkodi to see the ruins, what remained after the cyclone. The town has not been rebuilt. The ruins are still there as a record of the past.
The Vedathangal Bird Sanctuary.
This was at Vedandangal, Maduranagam, Tamil Nadu. It was a bird sanctuary where migratory birds from several countries come here during the nesting season. The best time to shoot the birds were at dawn and at dusk, because they fly out at dawn to hunt for food and they come back at dusk. So, we were there the previous evening. We had to stay there so that we could reach the place very early in the morning at sunrise and shoot the birds as they were flying off, and shoot the other, and there were these water birds which could be shot at any time, and also shoot when they were returning to their nest.
What a collection of photographs. I am sure that you must have all enjoyed seeing the stories, the photo stories that span the career of Mr. Desikan Krishnan, and which he has now, thanks to social media, uploaded on Facebook, and it can be seen by any one of you by visiting his Facebook page. Similarly, each one of you can also share your work with other people through different social media, as social media is here to stay, and it is a form of communication, of reaching out to people beyond time and space who can access your work no matter where they may be. Coming back to our subject today on carving a career in photojournalism, through the selection of photographs and photo stories, with the little stories behind them shared by Mr. Desikan Krishnan, I hope that you have learnt on the importance of preparing a portfolio of your images. You may take different assignments in your career. Sometimes you may cover a tragedy. Sometimes you may cover a celebration or a festival. You may cover a political event or a local inauguration or a local some rally or something. No matter which event you cover, you have to deploy and use all the skills, all the knowledge that you have learnt in the smoke so that you can get better photographs. As we saw in the images that were carried in this module, Bhopal gas tragedy, a terrible tragedy which shook India and other people all over the world. It has been documented by photographs. Wildlife sanctuaries which are conserving wildlife has been documented and preserved through photographs. Festivals and fairs have been documented. Something like the child jockeys, which is a horrifying story to tell the world about the cruelty being faced by children through child trafficking, has also been exposed and shared through the power of photographs. We hope that you understand that photojournalism is an extremely powerful and relevant field to get into, because through your photographs you can inform, you can educate, and you can also help make a difference. So to conclude, we would like to tell you that it's very important that if you want to develop your career in photojournalism, you must go out, take photographs, organize these photographs using an efficient workflow, and with the organizing of these photographs, as we have learnt through clubbing, grouping, organizing in different folders, shortlisting, selecting the right images and eliminating the not good images, you will have your portfolio which you can share. And in today's world, social media is one way to share your work. Even though the use of social media has been debated and contested in photojournalism, but the fact is here to stay that we are reaching out to a large number of people who we do not know personally through social media. All the photographs that you have seen today, spanning Mr. Desikan Krishnan's career of 40 years, are being shared on his Facebook page so that you and all of us can get to know these images.
I've shared about 100 of the interesting assignments that I had covered over a period of 40 years. Social media is what, in fact, I would say it's a boon for people who would like to reach out to a larger audience, and also people who cannot afford to buy books can always look at it in the social media. So that is one of the reasons why I spent a lot of time in clubbing and grouping and putting all these images up with a short story, with a short take on how I did it on the social media, so that it would be a guide to young photographers and photojournalists to learn from my experience.
Thank you, sir. We really hope that as we reach the end of our learning journey in this MOOC, you would find all these inputs helpful and help you to enrich and prepare you to be a photojournalist.